Good morning, everyone. Is that coming through okay? Can you hear me? Okay. Better? Okay. First of all, I want to thank all of you for allowing us to go to Kearney to the assembly. It was the first week in June, and we got there and it was pouring rain. And I'm hoping, that it was raining in Lincoln. I text my neighbor and he says, well, it kind of looks like, and I said, yeah, we'll get about 10 drops. And that's about what we got. But it was pouring rain in Kearney at the time. So again, thank you for allowing us to attend. The theme, we'll have the next slide, is go and. And so we're going to spend just a few minutes. We'll keep it short for you folks, but we're going to find out where each of us can go and that was the theme of the assembly. You're going to hear about from Bishop Scott, and kind of a strange year for him. This was his first year, and you could tell he struggled sometimes in just getting things done. It's a hard time to become a bishop. It really is. And he received complaints about things weren't getting done on time. And us Lutherans, we want it done right now, right? And so he struggled with that. Amen. He also said that most of his staff is new. There were some that stayed, but most of them are new. And so learning about each other and developing a plan and a strategy, he said it was a learning experience. But the message that he has is going to be good. The next speaker we had was Pastor Freeberg, and I consider her to be more of a cheerleader. She was great. She did a great job. She spoke to us twice. And then the next person we're going to hear about is Pastor Otten. I loved Pastor Otten. He was so good. And his message basically is keep it simple. And as Pastor said, love God. Okay? So our assembly started, it started with communion. And if you can imagine, there's probably 600 people that communed in about 15, 20 minutes. So it went really fast. But Alan's going to talk to you about Bishop Scott and his message, and then also Pastor Freeberg.
So just to give you a little information about Bishop Scott Johnson. He was born and raised on a family farm near Wakefield, Nebraska. Prior to being elected Bishop of the Nebraska Synod in 2022, he served as the pastor of Peace Lutheran Church in Barrett, Minnesota, as a campus pastor at the University Lutheran Center in Iowa State in Ames, and as pastor at St. Petri Lutheran Church in Story City, Iowa, and as a director of campus ministries of Midland University in Fremont. Scott and his wife, Kristen, are the proud parents of 2 daughters, and they lived in Fremont. Bishop Scott introduced the theme of the year assembly, Go and. With the words from Matthew 28, 19 and 20, go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to obey everything that I have commanded you, and remember, I am with you to the end of the ages. And as Jolene mentioned, change and construction have been regular themes in the work of the Synod staff. Some long-term staff members felt called to do new things, and after years of faithful, dedicated service in the Synod office, the staff that stayed on and those who joined the staff have spent a great deal of time in deep dives into what God is asking us in 2023 and beyond. The Pastor Maristela Freeberg was born and raised in Brazil, and as a student she participated in an exchange program with the Institute of ISEDET in Argentina and the University of Marburg in Germany. Pastor Freeberg started a ministry by serving the Lutheran parish of Palmettos, Brazil, and was ordained in 1994. She served as the Latin American coordinator of the Lutheran World Federation of Leadership Training Program for younger women from 1994 to 1997, and coordinated the course on grassroots theology for lay leaders in her synod. In 1997, with her husband, they accepted a call to service as a mission developers at a storefront mission in Newark. Since 2023, Pastor Freeberg has served as the Director of Evangelical Missions and Assistant to the Bishop in New Jersey Synod. Last year, she invited a group of leaders to design the Go And program. The group met monthly to learn from each other how to reach out, to listen, and to build relationships with neighbors, to figure out ways to be the church now and in the future to which God is calling the church. Pastor Freeberg started by thanking Nebraska for sending 300 people to help with the recovery operations from Sandy's superstorm. They did the footwork, not glorious work, but very important. And she was quoted as saying, "Thank you for showing up." Pastor Freeberg reminded us that the church exists for the world, sent to make Christ known. Go and make disciples of all nations. We are to share the good news, go and love. Pastor Freeberg shared a quote, "How do you lead when we don't know where we're going?" And the answer they concluded, "We figure it out together." And she introduced the step process: listen, act, and share. Listening to God and to each other, and acting so that we can learn. Sharing our stories in the community, and the community is a safety net and a trampoline. Follow God into a hopeful future, try new things, and how is God nudging you to be a community? Go in this adventure together.
Okay, so Reverend Christopher Otten, he's got a long list of things that he does. He's a remarkable man. Serves as the assistant to the presiding bishop and director of federal chaplaincies. Reverend Otten served nearly 21 years as a federal chaplain, activated United States Air Force chaplain, and Air National Guard chaplain. He now oversees the 181 ELCA federal chaplains who serve the government in the military, Veterans Administration hospitals, and Bureau of Prisons and other federal agencies. Beginning in June of 21, he also supports and coordinates for all chaplains within the ELCA, including hospitals, hospices, and service agencies. Reverend Otten is the moral base on military bases and operations. He is with the military, but he's not subject to military oversight. His message, and it's interesting that Pastor in the children's sermon this morning talked about the same thing. He started out by saying, Lutherans travel light. We are sent out to do Matthew 22:36-40. Keep it simple. Love the Lord your God with all your soul and with all your mind. And second, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. So keep it simple. Some religious organizations, some groups have a lot of baggage that they carry. Their backpack is filled to the brim with stuff that you have to do, laws that you have to follow. Lutherans, keep it simple. Love, okay? That was his message. Commit to the church, commit to the community, go into our community. Otten's speech was so informative and a joy to listen to because he kept it simple and easy to understand. And his final words were, we just need to love one another. We just need to love. And I thought that was a great, great message. Okay, next was the Synod Treasurer, Dan Freeland. We'll have the next slide. And he talked on the mission share. And I believe you also we had a handout. Everybody got a handout? And that kind of shows where your money, Marcia, you didn't get one? You got one? Okay. It shows where your money is going. And as I looked at it, the bottom one, where it says administration, the church is going through a difficulty, just like a lot of organizations. It's tough to make budget. And we talked a little bit about at Assembly, the budget and how to make it. Bishop Scott did say that they downsized one staff member to meet the budget because it's difficult. And if you look at the mission share and the giving, look where it started in 2018 and look where 2022 it's gone down. I did look at ours, what St. Andrew's gives, and for the past 3 years, we had put in $26,000 a year. This year, the estimated amount is $21,846. So it's a little bit less than what we've had for the last 3 years. The mission share, as far as going down is there another slide? Is there one more slide? Okay, there's a chart that shows the revenue and how it's gone down. Now, in I can't see that far, 2020, it went down, and then it shot up. And when did COVID start? 2020? 2020. So there's a dip, and then it went up, and then it's sliding down again. So Bishop Scott and his group dealing with, the money that's coming in, it's difficult. It really is. But we appreciate everything that people are doing and everything that people are giving. And on your little handout, it shows where all of the money goes that is counted for. On Saturday, the plan of the whole weekend, it went pretty smooth, and Bishop Scott would say, yeah, we had our opportunities. Sometimes a slide wouldn't work, a microphone wouldn't work. In fact, the first day, we were supposed to have, I believe it was the business meeting, and we couldn't because there wasn't a quorum. So they had to shift it to Saturday.
And the quorum was caused by an accident on the interstate that shut down the interstate, so a lot of the people that had intended to be at that meeting couldn't get there. So that.
Yeah, so that was interesting. So we had to move things around. They had workshops, and Alan and I attended a workshop with cameras or with our phones. And one of these days, probably in the fall, we're going to do some fun things with our phone. And you think, oh no, it's not how you use the phone, even though I need probably help with that. But it'll be kind of fun. So we'll do that. We were disappointed because we thought there were 2 sessions and we'd get to pick 2 workshops. No, we had we could do the first one, and then in the second one, you could just mingle in the hallway, which we'd already done. But anyhow, that was kind of a downer. Another thing that kind of struck us odd, it's Saturday, and you're there all day, and you're probably ready to go home. And then so they had the voting for to accept the budget and the minutes and all of that. And then there was a late resolution that was introduced. And they had brought it forth. They had to do it by 4 o'clock on Thursday or Friday, I believe, in order for it to be presented on the floor. And it was presented by Otto Schultz and a group of people. And we thought, okay, well, and they had a big, long thing printed out, and we all read it and thought, well, this is going to be pretty simple. And then all of a sudden, people are up at the microphones, and they're all giving their opinion. Well, what Otto Schultz had introduced was simply to form a committee. He wanted the bishop to form a committee to address mental health and drug addiction, alcoholism, just to choose a committee to come up with rules, regulations. And there were, probably, 20, 25 people that got up one at a time and said, well, we need to do this, we need to do that. It was just like, please understand, all we want to do is get a committee. We just want the bishop to assign. We don't want to make all these other decisions. So finally we voted and it went through, but it was at the end of the day, and it's, how that goes with meetings. But anyhow, we'll continue here. We're just about done.
Could you clarify if that's for the roster vote?
Pardon?
Yeah.
The committee?
Yeah, the committee was for,
All that is for roster.
right.
Right. People that can. No, good point. When you come in, there was a division. They said if you vote, a voting member, you would sit in this one area.
No, she meant on this resolution.
Oh, yeah,
The committee being formed is to address mental health for pastors.
correct. I'm sorry. Yes,
That's what I'm wanting.
for pastors, which is definitely needed. Definitely needed. Yes. Okay. Ready, set, go. In the Great Commission, Jesus calls us to go. The Synod is taking those words to heart. So on the back of your mission share, this is a year-long thing that the Assembly is going to abide by. And so the Nebraska Synod is embarking on a year-long focus to go and. The Synod is kicking off the year with 12 intentional themes, inviting you to, in June, pray, then listen, share your story, serve with neighbors, ask, be honest, be present, rest, and this was emphasized, rest. We all need to rest, have the conversation, be intentional, tell the story, and be church. Blessings to be the eyes, hands, and feet of Christ. To end this session, we together read a poem, and that's up on the screen. And I would like for us to read that together. I think it has a lot of meaning for all of us. So if you'll join me, Christ has no body but yours, no hands or feet on earth but yours. Yours are the eyes with which he looks, compassion on this world. Yours are the feet with which he walks to do good. Yours are the hands in which he blesses all the world. Yours are the feet. Yours are the eyes. Yours are his body. Christ has no body now but yours. No hands, no feet on earth but yours. Yours are the eyes with which he looks, compassion on this world. Christ has no body now on earth but yours. Thank you very much. If you have more questions when we leave, you can certainly ask us, but that's pretty much the essence of the assembly. Again, thank you, and thank you for staying. Happy Father's Day.